Hi Tigers, this is Mrs. Brown, your college and career counselor. Today we're going to talk about the PSAT test. This is an assessment that we give all of our 10th and 11th graders to help you practice for your SAT, which is a college admissions exam. So today we'll cover sort of what is the PSAT, what are the skills that are assessed, and what can you do to prepare, and some resources that you can use to help you follow up with any questions that you might have. So what is the PSAT? This is an assessment that's going to give you some feedback and help sort of measure your college readiness skills to sort of give you an idea of how you're doing in your college and career readiness. How successful will you be at the next level? And from this feedback, you can use it to help you practice and prepare, and so that you can maximize your opportunities on that SAT test. Generally speaking, the higher your scores, the more opportunity or the more comfortable you'll be in being admitted to college. So we want to do our best and practice a little bit beforehand. So the test is on October 30th. We will test that morning and we will finish at the end of third period. We will use the 2-hour delay bell schedule. So start testing at 7:35 and then complete, I think it's around 11:30 that will be done, and report to either fourth period or A lunch. So just mark your calendar for October 30th as test day. More information to come on that. So the test is structured in a way that you get 1 point for each question, and if you get the answer wrong, you don't get points deducted. So it's important that you try every single question to help maximize your score. If you find that you're running short on the time during the test, take a minute and go ahead and make your best guess on each answer in that section so that you don't lose points for not even trying. Once we get the score reports back, those will be available usually in late December. Then you can use the tools from the College Board, which is the organization that develops all of these assessments, to help you prepare and practice for your real SATs. So sophomores, you'll have a chance to practice in 10th grade and next year again. And then juniors, this will be your second practice. You probably did this last year here with us. And during junior year is when you really want to start planning out when you're going to take your SAT and go ahead and get registered and take those tests. All of that happens through your College Board account. But in preparation, you can use the Khan Academy tools that help design a practice plan for you based on how you did on the assessments. The scale scores for the ranges are from 320 to 1520. I'm going to talk about the scores a little bit more here in just a second. So I mentioned the Khan Academy tools. Juniors, if you have not been using this yet, I highly recommend that you get started so that you can help get yourself ready for those real SATs. This is going to take your test performance on the PSAT, and the Khan Academy tool will develop an individualized practice plan that's designed just for you. So it's a great free tool to help you prepare. The assessment is aligned with the SAT, so it's going to be a very similar format. The SAT being slightly harder, it is a little bit longer as well. There's some partnerships with the College Board PSAT program and some scholarship and special program opportunities. You'll have an opportunity to opt into that information if you'd like to, so that you get some things sent to you that you can follow up on later if you'd like, regarding scholarships and special opportunities. The test is actually on October 16th, but we are on fall break that week, so we are doing our testing on October 30th. We do not give the Saturday option. So skills that are covered on the test are these. There are 3 basic sections, the reading, writing, and math part of the test. The reading section has 5 passages with a set of 47 questions to follow. You get 60 minutes to complete this section. Those are all multiple choice questions. And on the reading test, your questions are going to be written in a way that you should be able to answer them based on if you were having a thoughtful, evidence-based discussion about the reading. The writing and language test has 4 passages, and the there's 44 follow-up questions. You get 35 minutes to answer those. Again, these are all multiple choice questions. On this section of the test, the questions are going to be designed as if you are editing the passages to improve them. So you'll be selecting the answer that will make the writing better. The maths part, there's actually two sections within the math section. One is you can use your calculator with, so please be sure to bring your calculator the day of the test. And the other section you do without the calculator. There are 48 questions. Most of them are multiple choice, but there are 8 that you actually work out the problem and enter the answer that you get. And of course, you're going to use the math strategies that you've been learning over the years in the classroom and problem-solving skills to solve your math questions. This is a graph that kind of shows you how the PSAT aligns with the SAT. We do not give the PSAT 8-9 test here, so this orange section at the bottom you can ignore. But the PSAT is the one that we give, the dark blue one here in the middle. And those scores range from 160 points to 760 on each section. And then that relates very closely to the SAT that has 200 to 800 points for each section. All right, so the score that students get, you will actually be able to, on your score report, get an SAT predicted score, which is really helpful to kind of see how you're lining up as if you were going to take the SAT right away. Then you can use that information to help you kind of know how much you need to work to improve or to reach those scores you're hoping to reach. We also offer a SAT after-school prep program here at school. If you'd like to explore that, Mr. Albanetti is an English teacher here in our building, and he runs that program. So for more information, you can contact Mr. Albanetti. The test is 2 hours and 45 minutes long, so it will take us the morning to complete the test on October 30th. And as I mentioned, we report to fourth period when we finish, and we'll be on that 2-hour delay bell schedule the rest of the day. There is not an essay section on the PSAT, on the PSAT. When you sign up for the SAT, it's an option. You can decide if you want to take the essay section of the test. Many colleges do not use this as part of their admission criteria, but some do. So we usually suggest to students they consider taking it at least once, just so they have it in case the colleges that they're applying to require it. And you can see how the points differ just a bit. For the PSAT, it's a range of 160 to 760, and for the actual SAT, 200 to 800. So some things that you can do to prepare. I mentioned that it's important that you try to answer every single question. You do not get any points deducted for a wrong answer. The math questions, you will actually have to work out some of those problems and enter the answer, whether it be in fraction or decimal form, but make sure the fractions are reduced. You may lose points if you don't do that. Also, if you are going to estimate or round a decimal, make sure you fill in as many places that are allowed for that decimal. And again, there are the scores for you. And the total that you can get on the PSAT ranges from a 320 to a 1520, just a little bit less than what an actual SAT is. Okay, so the score report that you're going to get back is going to provide you a lot of information. It's going to show you all of the questions or the answers to the questions on the test. And then you can use that. You can actually link in electronically and open up the question so you can see what it was. You can see what answer you put and whether you got it right or wrong. And also whether they consider it an easy, medium, or difficult type of question. And a lot of other great things on this score report. So when those come back, we'll spend some time together in early second semester going through that. To help prepare yourself, we always recommend that you try to continue reading. This is just going to give you continuous practice at your reading and writing skills and vocabulary use. So we encourage you to do that as much as you can. And of course, when you're working with your counselors every year to choose your classes and getting input from your teachers, challenge yourself appropriately. Make sure that you are, going out there a little bit and making sure that you're extending yourself to something where you're going to be challenged to help yourself continue improving. All right, so I'm going to go through this kind of quickly, but teachers, feel free to stop at any time if you want to go look at anything more in depth. these are just some samples that are in the presentation. This presentation I will put out for you in your Canvas, and I will also make it available through our parent newsletter and on the website. So here's an example of a reading test question, and then the correct answer is given on the next slide and an explanation. It's a sample from the writing, correct answer, and the explanation. And this is a question, a sample for the section of the math test where you can use a calculator, and the correct answer, and an explanation there for you. And then here's a sample of something that might be on the part where you do not get to use the calculator. The correct answer. And you can see here, this shows you how to enter what we call the constructed responses, where you have to come up with the answer and enter it yourself, not from a multiple choice list. So you can enter in fractions or decimal forms, but be sure that those fractions are reduced and that you use all the decimal places available if you estimate. Okay. So just some tips for your calculator. It's never a good idea to borrow a calculator, especially a fancy one that you're unfamiliar with, because that will just slow you down during the test. You can use a scientific or graphing calculator on the test, so bring those with you. And just make sure that it has good working batteries and that it doesn't die on you somewhere in the middle. Honestly, it probably is well advised not to use your calculator on every single problem, because that will just slow you down a bit. It's a good strategy to take a look at the question, decide whether you really do need to use a calculator or not, and then solve it from there. So don't just dive into the calculator usage without just assessing it a little bit first. Again, make sure you have fresh batteries. Here at the bottom shows you what you're not allowed to bring as far as tools. You can't use a laptop or computer, cell phones, tablets, or smartwatches, that sort of thing. So make sure that all of that is left either in your backpack or at home. Okay, you do not have to sign up for the test. We sign you up automatically. So October 30th is our test day, and you want to be sure that you bring number 2 pencils and your calculator with you. We will give you more information about where to go for your testing and the location. Most of you will test in your Smart Period classrooms, but many will be adjusted and moved around. So more information coming up in future Smart Periods. Here are some things that you can use to help you prepare. The College Board website is excellent. They give you a lot of great tools to let you become very familiar with the test. The National Merit Scholarship Corporation partners with the College Board to provide scholarship opportunities for students who score very, very high. So you may want to explore that website. And through the College Board, you can also take a look at what scholarship opportunities might be available for all students. I mentioned the Khan Academy tools. This is a great practice for your SAT. And then the College Board also provides practice tests for you. There is a practice test in the student guide that you received today, so I encourage you to spend some time taking that and see how you do. Good luck, Tigers. If you have any questions in the process or about the test, please don't hesitate to contact me. I am in the CCA. You can stop by if I'm not available. Just leave me a note with the secretaries and I'll call you down as soon as I can. Or you can email me as well. That's no problem. So I look forward to giving you more information as we take the next steps through this process. So keep your eyes and ears open for information coming in future Smart Periods. And I will talk to you soon, Tigers. Have a great day.